Today, I would like to share to you the story of the Temple of Literature, Vietnam First University, a journey through 1,000 years of knowledge. Imagine this: in the year 1070, Europe is building magnificent cathedral. The dynasty flourished across China. Great kingdoms rise throughout Southeast Asia. And here in what is now Hanoi, a Vietnamese emperor makes an extraordinary decision. Instead of building another fortress, instead of expanding his palace, instead of celebrating military victories, he builds a temple, not for war, not for wealth, but for wisdom. Welcome to the Temple of Literature, the spiritual heart of Vietnamese education for nearly 1,000 years. Today, we discover why generation of scholars dedicate their lives here, why students still come before every important examination, and why this peaceful sanctuary tells the story of Vietnam better than perhaps any other monument. At the first glance, many tourists think this is simply another beautiful temple, but that isn't quite true. The Temple of Literature is actually two institutions combined into one remarkable complex. The first is Temple of Literature, dedicated to Confucius, the Chinese philosopher whose ideas shape education, morality, and government across East Asia. The second is the Imperial Academy, founded in 1076. Just 6 years after the temple itself, it became Vietnam's first nationality university. Think of it as a combination of Oxford, Harvard, and a Royal Academy, all nearly 1,000 years before modern university exists in Vietnam. Here, the nation's brightest minds study literature, philosophy, ethics, politics, history, poetry, and the classics. Many of them later became ministers, royal advisors, judges, diplomats, and scholars who have governed the kingdom. For more than 7 centuries, this was where Vietnam trained the people responsible for leading the country. The temple stands in the heart of Hanoi, Vietnam's capital city. Although surrounded today by busy streets, motorcycles, coffee shops, and modern buildings, stepping through its ancient gates feels like entering another world. The noise fades, towering trees replace concrete, courtyards stretch peacefully before you. Ponds reflect old Thai roofs, birdsong replace traffic. It becomes surprisingly easy to imagine scholars walking the same path 100 years ago. To understand the temple, we first need to understand Vietnam nearly 1,000 years ago. The country had regained its independence after centuries of Chinese rule. Its kings wanted something more lasting than military victories. They want to build a strong nation. But how to govern a kingdom? How do you choose honest official? How do you ensure the smartest, not simply the richest or most powerful, help rule the country? The answer was education. Inspired by Confucian philosophy, Emperor Lý Thánh Tông established the Temple of Literature in 1070. 6 years later, Emperor Li Nhân-tông found the Imperial Academy beside it. Initially, only princes and the members of the royal families could study here. Later, talented students from across the country were admitted regardless of their family background. This represents a powerful idea. Knowledge could elevate a person's future. Hard work could change a family destiny. Education became one of the highest values in the Vietnamese society, a belief that continues today. One of the most photographed places is a perfectly square pond called the Well of Heavenly Clarity. The still water symbolizes a clear mind, just as calm waters reflects the sky perfectly. A calm mind reflects truth and wisdom. This beautiful idea reminds the students that learning requires patience as much as intelligence. Temple isn't just beautiful, its architecture tells the story. It represents entering a place where esteem, respect, and knowledge matter above all. The stone turtles. Perhaps the most famous treasures are the stone turtles carrying large, the stone steles. These are not ordinary sculptures. They preserve the names of successful doctoral graduates from royal examinations. Between the 15th and 18th centuries, 82 surviving steles record over 1,300 scholars. Each name represents years of sacrifice, of studying by candlelight, years of memorizing classical texts, and years devoted to one dream. White turtles. In Vietnamese cultures, the turtles symbolize wisdom, knowledge, endurance, and longevity. For generations, many students gently touched the turtle heads before exams, believing they would receive the good luck. But today, however, tourists are asked not to touch them. After centuries of contact, the stone began wearing away. So preserving this priceless heritage became more important than continuing the traditions. Rather than one enormous building, the complex unfolds through 5 carefully arranged courtyards. Its courtyards symbolize a step toward greater wisdom. The journey itself becomes a metaphor for education. Every journey begins with a humility. Tourists pass through impressive gates that separates the ordinary world from the world of learning. The final courtyard. Finally, tourists reach to the sanctuary dedicated to Confucius and his greatest disciples. This is spiritual center of the complex. Incense dripes quietly through the air. Wooden beams, lacquer altars, and traditional architectures create an atmosphere of dignity and reflections. This isn't simply a museum, it remains a place of respect. Imagine preparing for the most difficult examinations of your life. Now imagine failing. You don't retake it next semesters. You waste another 3 years. This was the reality for scholars hoping to become government officials. The examination system were among the toughest in Asia. Candidates travel enormous distance. Some studies for decades. Only a tiny percentage succeed. Those who passed achieved something extraordinary. The names were carved forever into stone. Their families gained honor. The village celebrated. Many became influential leaders who shaped Vietnamese history. The Temple of Literature became the symbol of this dream. What do Vietnamese people believe today? Although the Imperial Academy no longer functions as a university, its spirit remains alive. Every year, especially before important school examinations, thousands years of students visit the temple. Many wear traditional like áo dài. Families bring flowers and incense. Students quietly pray for concentration. Confidences and success. Interestingly, most are not asking for miracles. Instead, they seek peace of mind. The temple reminds them that success begins with discipline, preparations, perseverance. Graduates, although return after finishing university. Parents bring young children, hoping to inspire a lifelong love of learning. Teachers visit to honor the professions. The Temple of Literature has become a national symbol of education itself. Many travelers come expecting another beautiful historical monument. They leave understanding something much deeper. The Temple of Literature explains why education occupies such an important place in Vietnamese cultures, why parents invest so much in their children's studies, why teachers receive deep respect, why academic achievement is celebrated across generations. Architecturally, it offers one of Hanoi's most peaceful spaces. Historically, it preserves nearly 1,000 years of intellecture and tradition. Culturally, it reveals values that continue shaping Vietnam today. And emotionally, it invites every visitor to pause, to reflect, remember that civilizations are not built only by soldiers and kings. They are also built by teachers, students, books, and ideas. Long before modern classrooms, long before university filled with computers, long before the internet placed information at our fingertips, there stood a quiet temple in Hanoi, a place where knowledge was considered sacred, where wisdom matters more than wealth, where characters was valued alongside intelligence. Nearly 1,000 years later, children still walk through this same gate, still dreams of success. Families still believe education can transform lives. Perhaps that's why the Temple of Literature continues to inspire tourists from around the world. because every culture builds monuments to what it values most. Some build monuments to conquest, others build monuments to power. Vietnam built one to learn. And after nearly 1,000 years, that choice still speaks louder than words. So the next time you visit Hanoi, don't simply walk through the courtyards. Walk slowly. Imagine the footsteps of scholars beneath your own. Listen the silence. Look into the well of heavenly clarity. Read the names carved into Asian stone. And remember, every great civilization leaves behind more than buildings. It leaves behind ideas. The Temple of Literature is where Vietnam chose preserve one of its greatest ideas, that knowledge has power to shape a nation. Thank you very much for listening, and I will see you for the next video.